From Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio, the Houston Astros and the Indians meet for the final time of the season. The Astros look to rebound after dropping the last two to the Tribe. Brett Oberholzer is back to get it done. Hi, everybody. Alan Ashby and Jeff Blum with you. Talking about the losses here in the last couple of ball games. The Astros are now 2-4 on the road trip, a 10-game trip. Mean anything?
It's a little bit concerning, but I think these guys are actually will never admit to being legitimately fatigued. They've fallen underneath 500 here on the road. They played quite well early on, but I think all these games and playing in first place is starting to catch up to them a little bit.
And now for our Kubota pitching performance, powered by Kubota, of course. Last couple of days, the Astros have had guys, Dan Straley, Vince Velasquez pitching, and they did well.
Yeah, they're looking to fill that five-hole in the rotation. You know, Scott Feldman's still out on that rehab assignment, but these two guys right here actually recently have been pitching quite well. Vince Velasquez yet to record a win in his big league career, pitched well enough to get one. The offense didn't pick him up. Dan Straley making his second appearance as a Houston Astro, pitched extremely good last night, matching up with the Cleveland Stars. Didn't get the run support that he needed. Held him to 2 runs in that game, only allowing 3 hits in 6+ innings, which was great. The offense was not able to have the answers for Trevor Bauer last night, so look for that offense trying picking it up tonight.
When you play 162, you know injuries are going to be a part of things. The Astros have had their share recently, and the offense has struggled because of it. What do? Yeah,
they have. Jed Lowry, a couple of guys, Jed Lowry and George Springer going on that DL has been an issue. We know early on that Jed Lowry put together some great at-bats early on when the offense really wasn't firing too well, but he did a good job of setting the tone for that lineup. He's been missed in that lineup. George Springer, he is at the top of the lineup for those Houston Astros. Did a great job getting on base. Didn't expect him to drive the ball out of the ballpark, but he was on base, provided a lot of fire at the top of that lineup. I think getting those two guys back in that lineup creates a little more depth and a little more excitement for those Houston Astros who are struggling offense right now.
Coming up, so the Astros need to find more of the kind of offense that Evan Gattis provided last night to beat the Erie Warriors and get out of town with a series split. The Astros and Indians are coming your way next.
And the Astros looking to bounce back offensively after a couple of tough nights and facing some really good pitching here in this Cleveland team. They'll face another tough pitcher tonight, Cody Anderson, who they're looking to hopefully give him some adversity for the first time in the big leagues. And one guy maybe facing a little bit of adversity since he's been in the big leagues. Carlos Correa has had a tough series here in Cleveland, but we saw him burst onto the scene early. And, man, he looked like he belonged up here defensively and, of course, offensively. We see the power in some of those hits just there in that video. But batting second when he was first called up to .314 average, and changed a little bit when they dropped him down to that 3-hole, looking to get some more runs driven in by Carlos Correa. But, like I said, tough series here in Cleveland as he is 0 for 12. Wouldn't say struggling just yet for this guy because we know we can break out of it offensively, but these Indians have really given him some trouble in this series. But it's tough to be a rookie. It's tough to be in the big leagues, and you can see if you come out hot, it's definitely hard to keep a pace like some of these guys right here. Carlos Correa in his first 25, .315. Joey Gallo, we saw him with the Rangers come out hot and then struggle a little bit, 149 after those first 11. Chris Bryant, Jock Peterson. Some big names there as far as rookies and prospects. But Carlos Correa, very calm when I talked to him today, Ashton Blummer, as he said, some of these at-bats he's having here recently, just missing that one pitch to hit. It's frustrating, but he feels good about it. Guys, what have you seen in his at-bats and how these Indians are pitching him, and what kind of adjustments should he be making?
Thanks, Julia. I guess for me, I'll just say I think the last 2 series, it looks like teams have decided to come in hard, see if he can adjust. At moments, it seems like he adjusts very easily. Right now, the Indians seem to have his number, but it may just be that little bump in the road.
Yeah, I like that he's not trying to make too many major adjustments. I like that he understands that he's getting one pitch to hit every at-bat. Just happens to be missing them, and you got to give a little bit of credit to the Indians who are pitching him quite well, but there's a learning curve coming up in the big leagues. I don't care how talented you are or how good you're going to be in the future. There's going to be that learning curve. The excitement came with Carlos Correa. He gave us the excitement. Now teams are starting to adjust, but now we get to see that mental side of Carlos Correa adapting with that talent, see if he can adjust to what's going on and start lighting it up again. I've got complete faith in the young man. It's just a part of baseball.
Yeah, I'm with you on that latter part in particular. I don't think there's any real worry. It's just a matter of when it comes for Carlos Correa. Tonight's Astros starting lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And that starting lineup for A.J. Hinch and the gang. Jose Altuve in the top spot. He's at second. Followed by right fielder Preston Tucker, who has gotten hot. Carlos Correa batting third. Middle three. Luis Valbuena's back in there after missing a few. He's at third base. The DH, Evan Gattis. Caveman has been swinging it well. Colby Rasmus in left field. And the bottom three. Behind the plate tonight, Hank Conger at first base. John Singleton gets a start. And Jake Marisnick fleet-footed in center field.
24-year-old Cody Anderson going for the Cleveland Indians, making his fourth start of the season. You see the numbers early on, pretty darn low. Works with the fastball around 93 miles an hour. Basically a two-pitch pitcher. With that fastball, he's going to come with the changeup. Has the occasional cutter, but that's been getting hammered. Just a good young talent trying to mix into this already good rotation for the Cleveland Indians. He has yet to face the Houston Astros.
As Blummer said, he's been really good. The 3 starts that he's made in the major leagues prior to tonight, he's faced Tampa Bay twice and the Pittsburgh Pirates once. And so we'll see how he does against the Astros. First pitch hit in the air center field, easy for Michael Brantley. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the first.
There you see Michael Brantley in center. Let's see who's out there with him. Mike Aviles in left, David Murphy in right. On the infield, Giovanni Urshela, Francisco Lindor, Jason Kipnis, and Carlos Santana. Behind the plate for the 4th straight day in a row, Yan Gomes.
68 degrees at the start of play. 7:10 game start. That is here Eastern time zone. Preston Tucker has been swinging it well in the Eastern time zone. Now hitting .263 as he takes outside. Cody Anderson's last start lasted 2 hours and 36 minutes. They say he works quickly, doesn't fall behind often, and puts the ball in play very quickly.
Yeah, I think the key to that is pitching to contact. Not afraid of it.
Primarily 2-pitch pitcher, huh? Fastball changeup.
Fastball changeup. He has a curveball, but he only throws it 2% of the time.
There's the 2-0, and that fastball right there fouled off. But 94-95 is what we're seeing early now. And that's about the word. Guy's got a good arm.
Well, 23 2/3 innings. Well, 24 innings now. 10 strikeouts.
10 strikeouts would be a really low figure for a guy that goes 94-95 typically.
Yeah, you would think, but there you go. Guys in the truck backing me up with some of these numbers. Pretty simple pie chart. That's new for us. 65% of the time, but he sets everything up by being around the zone with that fastball. And that changeup is a really good ground ball pitch.
I assume that's the changeup. Missed badly with it.
That was a little bit of a cutter. 88 miles an hour. The changeup will get in there about 83 to 85.
Yeah, that was thrown so poorly that you couldn't really see anything from it. That last start, the only win for Cody Allen. He beat the Rays 1-0, beating Kevin Jepson in that one. And lasted 7 2/3 innings. High fastball hit in the air, left field, hit fairly well. And back to the warning track goes Aviles to make the play. So Preston Tucker continues to hit the ball sharply. And I'll bring up Carlos Correa. I felt like we saw when the Astros started on the road trip in Boston. He was a little tight in the first game, got tied up a couple of times, and then all of a sudden found the whooping stick and started swinging it.
He's a 20-year-old kid hitting third for a first place team, so it's only human to maybe put a little more pressure on yourself, but that's what we've seen consistently, is them really trying to get him back off the plate. And as a hitter, he might be diving a little bit.
Puts it on the ground, easy at third base. Urshela with the play. A little bit low at the throw, but a 1-2-3 first inning. The changeup gets the ground out. Scoreless game. Half inning, and now Brett Oberholzer goes to the mound, facing this lineup for the Cleveland Indians. Jason Kipnis
will bat lead off, hitting .335, followed by the shortstop Francisco Lindor, and Michael Brantley having a nice year. He's in center field. The DH Ryan Rayburn follows, Carlos Santana and Yan Gomes there in the heart. And the bottom three, David Murphy, he was big last night. Giovanni Urshula's at third base, left fielder Mike Aviles.
Brett Oberholzer back in the big leagues for the Houston Astros, getting the start. 2-1 on the season. Getting another opportunity after a semi-blow up against the New York Yankees. Got flustered a little bit. Finished off with trying to throw at A-Rod.
So Obi's first pitch of the evening, right there at the knees for a strike at 88 miles an hour. Yeah, that outing against the Yankees, forgettable. 1 1/3 innings, 4 hits and 6 earnings against him. 3 walks, just 1 strikeout. And in that game, just an inning and a third, 2 home runs against Obi.
Made 1 start back in Fresno going up against Tacoma. He got the win. Went 6 innings strong, scattered 6 hits, 3 earned runs. Gave up a home run in that game too.
Brian McCann and Chris Young for the Yankees got him early in that most recent major league start. Obi with a 1-2 count. That Astros outfield swung way to the left side again. Little check swing, ground ball back to the hill. So Obi gets the out on Jason Kipnis. It'll bring up the shortstop, the youngster Francisco Lindor. Look at that last outing and the ejection.
Yeah, you were in the ballpark for this, Ashley. You could kind of sense what was happening by watching this, but I was at home and I could kind of sense what was going on. They just got to him. They left some balls elevated. Chris Young, we know what he does, but this pitch right here, and with the ejection and the way Oberholzer went off, just told me that the man was completely frustrated. When he went into the dugout, the camera actually showed him slam his glove into the bench, and that's when I knew that it didn't have anything to do with what the Yankees represent or how anybody feels about the Yankees. It's complete frustration on Oberholzer's part.
This ball down the right field side, long run in the corner by Tucker, and it's a foul ball. Ball and a strike on Lindor.
There's got to be some growing up in this game. It's not always going to be kind to you. We've talked about it plenty of times. You can be perfect, still take the loss, or still go 0 for 4.
I played with some guys back decades ago, and things were very different. Things have changed, and I'm not going to hang out on one side or the other, but as the ground ball goes to shortstop, easy for Correa on that second hop. Had 2 outs on ground balls in the first inning, and I'll talk about it after the defense.
A couple of ground balls already, but Colby Rasmus, Jake Marisnick, and Preston Tucker out there shagging flies. On the left side, Luis Valbuena back in there with his big toe. Carlos Correa at short. Jose Altuve and John Singleton on the right side. Hank Conger doing the catching tonight for Brett Oberholzer.
I was saying back some time ago, decades back in Major League Baseball, I played for managers who would have sent pitchers back to the minor leagues for not throwing in hard after giving up a bunch of hits and runs early in a ball game. Now, you can take your own side on that, but attitudes have changed. You don't want anybody getting hurt, that's for certain. Two outs for Michael Brantley. Hot shot on a hop to shortstop, going down to play it on a knee. Correa, and 3 ground ball outs in the first inning. Nicely done by Brett Oberholzer. Scoreless after 1.
Faced the Red Sox in a 3-game series at Minute Maid Park from July 21st to the 23rd. July 22nd is also $1 Hot Dog Wednesday, presented by Nolan Ryan Beef. For tickets, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com. Luis Valbuena returning to the lineup tonight, and he's off for a couple of days with the left great toe sprain. Nice black and blue toe for him. He's not 100% as far as running goes, but he does feel much better. Got a lot of treatment on that toe. It was something he was dealing with, guys, for a while, but then worsened when he slid into home plate in Boston. But good to have him back. Good to have that bat back in the lineup.
19 home runs, always welcome in a lineup Valbuena in that cleanup spot, swings through the first pitch. Thanks, Julia. You know, for me, one of the things that I have appreciated most about Valbuena this year is the defense at third. I feel like he's played very solid, sometimes spectacular defense.
I couldn't agree more.
Fouls it off. It's 0-2.
Even with that bum toe, he moves around pretty good.
You know, you hear a lot about guys taking their offense out to the defensive side of the game. Even when Luis has struggled as much as can be offensively, that defensive side has been strong. Each pitcher in the first inning, just 9 pitches. And that is certainly the story we've heard on Cody Anderson. Changeup ram, but way foul down the right field side. That's getting the head out.
It's too bad. I wish that was fair. Put a run on the board. Welcome back to the lineup, Luis.
Hit to left field and hit well, going back Aviles. And he makes a nice running grab. Might have gotten fooled on this ball, but closed nicely in the end.
It was a pretty good play. Aviles normally plays on the infield. How about Valbuena hitting the ball hard, going the other way after yanking that changeup, takes a good fastball and drives it the other way.
One out here in the second inning. The game is yet to see its first base runner. Evan Gattis comes to the plate. And I think if Evan is aware of that stat, he is even more angry right now than usual.
He's really not an angry guy, though. He just
I just mean
that little white baseball gets within about 3 feet of him, and he takes it out on it. But
it's not the general anger; it's the anger at the baseball.
Yeah, it's very personal. He's a great guy. He's funny to talk to.
Yeah.
I went down there and yelled at him before the game today.
I hope so.
I said, "What are you doing hitting that pitch?" And he really didn't have a reply other than, "I couldn't believe I hit it myself." I said, "Hit it." You pummeled that thing.
Didn't know where he hit it either.
He couldn't tell me how many Altuves off the ground it was either.
What's your response?
3.
Did you tell Jose about your assessment?
Couldn't find him.
I don't think you looked hard enough. That is my assessment.
No, I had my entire intent was to go talk to Evan Gattis about that home run he hit last night. Ooh.
2-2.
Too slow. If there's 95 up there, he might have given it a shot. This guy is entertaining to me. I like him.
Got off to a terribly slow start this year, but what sense he has been dynamic on the offensive side. Got a 9-game hitting streak. Just kind of quietly going about business. Hits it down the right side, foul.
He's been really quiet about it until guys get on base, and that's when he makes his noise.
Yep. 53 RBIs for Evan. Tied for second on the club with 15 dingers. Trailing only Luis Valbuena. Right on the fist. Little pop shallow in right field. Second baseman Kipnis with the play. That's 2 down in the second inning. Brings Colby Rasmus to the plate.
Taking a look at the strike zone, brought to you by MD Anderson. There you see where the pitches were located. Does a good job of getting that fastball in there. And Evan Gattis, while he's been swinging the bat well in the last 41 games, he's been doing great. Really going up the middle the other way. You can see right there trying to force that one to right field.
For Colby, the batting average at .242. Had a fine defensive play last night in left field. Grounds one to the right side, handled by Santana. He'll feed on to Anderson. That does it. Another 1-2-3 inning. 6 up and 6 down for Anderson. This ball game, we go to the bottom of the second inning. 4, 5, 6 coming up for the Indians. Ryan Rayburn, Carlos Santana, and Yan Gomes. As some fans are trying to find out right now who Brett Oberholzer will face here in the inning. Been kind of a rainy, cloudy, gray day today.
It's been a moist series.
That it has. In some books, it's 1-0 at this point. Scoreless, though, on the big board here at Progressive. Ryan Rayburn, the DH this evening. Hitting .289, 4 long balls. Oberholzer picked up 3 ground ball outs in a quick first inning. Rayburn has just played in one of the games here in the series, going 0 for 3. It's a rough game for Ryan Rayburn. 3 strikeouts in those 3 at bats. What's he see? Or was that? I shouldn't say he so quickly, should I? There's a lot of pink going on there. Foul ball down the right side. 2-2 the count. Yeah, that's probably a she there, I guess, huh?
Yeah, she's got that pink lid on. Checking out things here at Progressive. Hope the parents are paying attention on a possible foul ball.
I was looking to see, I think her head is underneath the lip of that dugout there. Half swing, no swing. And now a full count here. Starting things out in the bottom of the second inning. Rayburn fouls it back. Came to the big leagues with the Tigers in 2004. Played just 12 games that year and then became one of the regulars at times with the Tigers. Lifetime in the big leagues, 78 home runs while hitting .255.
He's hitting .360 at home against left-handed pitching.
I guess that might tell you why he's in the lineup tonight. Drills one to center field, leadoff single in the second inning, and that'll add to those numbers. Brings up 5-hitter Carlos Santana, switch hitter, batting right-handed now against Oberholzer. Rayburn has not attempted a stolen base this year. In fact, has not taken off since 2012 when he stole 1 base. Oh, and 1 the count. Framing game can be unusual.
How about the time Hannigan was having in Boston?
Pitches low, a ball and a strike. Now we've at times seen some unusual receiving of the baseball.
That'd be interesting to talk to some umpires. What do they want to see from a catcher? They want to see him just stick it and hold it, or do they want to see, you know, those guys kind of create that horseshoe and bring it back to the zone?
You know, I'm not so sure what the umpires would actually say. I think a lot of times what they don't like is the catcher that holds the pitch a couple of inches off the plate.
Yeah.
And leaves the fans at the ballpark on each side of the field feeling like, well, where was that pitch? 2 separate jobs, though, for the catcher trying to make things look as good as he can for his pitcher, for the umpire trying to get it right.
Tell you what, Obi's got to get better command of that changeup. Good pitch for him when he can locate it.
I would say it's a pitch he has to have. It's now 3-1. It's well spotted. 3-2. Santana hitting just .210 this year.
It's interesting because Conger had to reach back across his body to catch a pitch that was right through the heart of the plate down at the knees.
Makes you wonder how far inside he's setting up on Santana. He get clipped on the backswing.
Quite a slowdown for Santana the last couple of months.
It's putting it mildly.
Well, I guess even the month of May wasn't red hot. Has 3 hits in the series. Had 2 in game 2. And now takes ball 4. First 2 hitters reach here in the second inning. Nobody out for Yan Gomes.
Wow, how about that? That changeup breakdown. Those first 4 starts looked real good. But when you fall behind hitters, you're not able to throw that many off-speed pitches.
Yeah, it really changes things around. Command has a big part of what goes on like that.
In order to have an effective changeup, you got to set it up with that fastball, being able to locate it on both sides of the plate. That was a good one.
First 4 outings for Obi this year came against the Giants, Baltimore, Toronto Blue Jays in Toronto, and Seattle. So they sometimes try to look for trends there. I'm not sure if I see any kind of a soft team trend. In fact, the Toronto Blue Jays best offensive team in baseball this year. Well, that fastball was in a very hittable zone. Gomes with an 0-2 count. Not much speed on the bases. Obi could use one of those ground balls he got in the first inning.
That's one of the interesting things on Obi's numbers is that his ground ball rate is actually a lot higher than it has been in the past. In 2014, he was right around 38%. This year in 2015, right at 51%. Pretty reasonable jump in getting those ground balls.
He's allowed 10 hits per 9 innings. Brings that heat up and gets the strikeout. His first of the night. And a big first out here in the second inning. Runner still at first and second as David Murphy comes to the plate.
See those hands on Yan Gomes starting around his shoulder. That fastball going right by those hands. Usually when your hands are at the same height with that baseball, it's tough to get the barrel on top of the baseball to hit it.
I thought that was a really good example of when we talk about never letting the barrel get below the baseball, because clearly it got below and never caught back up.
We're going to take a Supermo look at it, brought to you by Mattress Firm. There you go, 4-seam fastball coming right at him. That barrel drop underneath it.
David Murphy, .333 the batting average, 5 dingers, 26 ribbies, and a 2-0 count. Good hitting count now for Murphy.
Ruined the Astros night last night.
Yeah, he was a big part of what the Indians did, no doubt about it. Gets one up and pops it up. Shallow down the left field line. It's Correa calling, now called off by Rasmus, and a key second out. So the first 2 reach in the inning, but then a strikeout of Gomes, a pop out by Murphy, and it's in the hands of Giovanni Urshela.
Pretty good job by Obi to get to 2 outs in this inning after base hit walk to start the inning. That's a sign of maturity for Obi, calming down, showing some poise. Still got 1 more out to get.
Urshela, the 8 hitter for the Tribe, hitting .247. Has just 1 hit in the series and will not likely get one here. It's Tucker, and making the play, that'll do it. Nice job after the first 2 reach. Obi gets out of it, scoreless after 2.
play Name That Astros. It's brought to you by your local Honda dealer. All right, here's the clues. Led the National League in wins and shutouts in '76. He had 1 career homer and 976 ABs. Pitched in the World Series in '87. That was 20 years after making his major league debut. And his bobblehead features a nail file in the back pocket. Make sure to tweet your responses at Blummer27 or myself, Julia Morales, RS, and we will get back with that answer later in the broadcast.
Don't forget Alcat Ass, right?
There you go.
That last clue just made it way too easy. Hank Conger at the plate.
Very true.
This is one of those line drives that get to the seats so quickly. It's 0-1 on Hank. We hope everybody's all right down there. Conger, Singleton, and Marisnik for the Astros here in the 3rd inning. Scoreless game. Shift on for Conger. Hank hitting .237, 4 long balls. He's driven in 11. That fastball just inside, trying to work the inside edge.
Good pitch.
Yikes.
Borderline, but it plants the seed.
Pitch is driven right center field, back at the wall, getting out of here, and it does. Hank Conger goes yard, leading off the 3rd inning. 1-0 Houston, number 5 on the year for Conger.
But Conger going deep.
He got 1 extra pitch to work with and utilized it well.
Laid off that fastball in. Anderson comes back with something out over the plate. See the enthusiasm from Conger. He's lighting it up.
5 home runs at this point for a guy playing the backup spot for the catcher. That's a nice job.
We saw some of his left-handed thump when he was with the Angels.
Yes.
Thought it was pretty good. So that's, I would say, his most powerful side, but he's been doing it from the right side also.
Hit a couple of home runs right-handed. First 2 of his career in the major leagues, by the way. So yeah, that bat side of things, in particular from what we've seen in the past, the left side of the plate would seem to be the strength for Hank. John Singleton at the plate. 1-0 Houston, trying to even this series at 2 games apiece.
My goodness, my Twitter account has gone absolutely bonkers.
On that 1 swing?
No, for the Name That Astro.
Oh,
they are checking it out.
Well, again, that final clue I felt like might have been a bit telling. Are they right?
Yeah. Majority of them are very right. Somebody threw a Mike Scott at me.
Yeah, I don't think Mike's going to make that one. Hit in the air deep to center field. Brantley going back. He's at the track and the wall and makes the catch up near the line on that wall. So Singleton almost gets out of here. And that would have been his first on the year. 1 out here in the 3rd. And Conger take a hack.
That was that changeup. It flattened out for him out over the plate. Good pitch to hit for left-handed hitters, especially if it's not diving away. You see the extension right there. Getting to it nicely and staying through it even better.
Nine-hitter Jake Marisnik. He hits one high and deep to left field. Going back of Vilas. He'll make the play. I thought Jake got more of that when he first hit it.
I think he got it pretty good. Just the trajectory was a little too high.
The Astros getting some good swings here in the 3rd inning.
Well, the scouting report must say that you're going to get a fastball early from Anderson. It's going to be in the vicinity of the strike zone. So why not sit on it, give it a good swing?
That home run by Conger, just the 2nd allowed by Cody Anderson in now his 4th start of the season. Jose Altuve saw one pitch in the first inning, fly to center.
There's that changeup grip. Most guys throw it with that circle change.
Here he comes back with it and gets Altuve out in front. Yeah, I've even gotten a couple of the folks out in Twitterville sending back some answers, and apparently they felt it was just too easy tonight. Ground ball to third. One big hop for Schella. And that'll do it in the third inning. Hank Conger is the offense to this point. The fifth no-hitter in franchise history. That's on July 9th of 1976, striking out 8 batters in a 6-0 win against Montreal. The no-hitter begins a dominating summer for Larry as he fires 5 complete games, 3 of them shutouts, with an ERA of .283 in his last 12 starts of the season. Of course, he wasn't a bad manager either, not to mention broadcaster. Nice going, Larry.
Good stuff. He was slinging some nastiness. Was that your Moss right there?
No, that was Hoggy, I believe.
Hoggy?
Furman.
The Hog?
Believe so.
Huh.
Have to have somebody confirm that for me, but yeah, the Moss was similar. Mike Aviles leads off for the Indians here in the third. Aviles, Kipnis, and Lindor. Veteran player who's done a nice job for Cleveland, hitting .255. He's gone deep 4 times. Hank Conger, the difference maker in the ball game, leading off the third inning with a dinger to right center. Fly ball center. Coming on Marisnick. Nice jump, nice speed, gets the job done. 1 out. Back to the top with Jason Kipnis. Kipnis had an excuse me ground ball back to the mound to start the first inning for the Tribe. An inning that saw Brett Oberholzer get 3 ground ball outs. Ground ball to Altuve this time. 2 quick outs in the third. It'll bring up shortstop Francisco Lindor. Nice start of the evening for Brett Oberholzer. He's making that return to the ball club, and we talked about it. His last start that came against the Yankees June 27th. Not one he wants to remember. 1 1/3 inning, 6 earnings against him, got ejected from the game. Made 1 minor league start since. Had a quality start, allowing 3 earned runs in 6 innings. Ball and a strike on Lindor. Lindor's a switch hitter. He's 21 years of age. Now in just his 23rd game. Little soft liner and just out of the reach of Singleton. Hit number 2 of the night for the Indians.
Changeup up. Just kind of nubbed off the end of the bat. Lindor got quick on it. Sometimes on those swinging changeups as an infielder, it's tough to get your footwork right.
That was the changeup combo. Both hits against Obi, singles. The other by Ryan Rayburn as he led off the second inning. Obi has walked 1. Michael Brantley grounded out to Correa in the first.
Yeah, Lindor hit it like he threw it.
Change on change. Lindor has 1 stolen base in 1 try. The Indians have run successfully. 39 bags on the season, caught 14 times. The 39 stolen bases, 9th in the American League. And of course, the Astros continue to lead in that category. They lead the majors in home runs. But things have gotten tight. Game and a half is the lead now in the American League West over the LA Angels. They have been streaking, winners of 5 straight. There you go, the Angels tightening things up a bit.
They sure are.
Rangers have really fallen off now, 3 games under 500. Seattle and Oakland trailing. Would you feel safe calling it a 3-team race at this point?
Yeah.
Pop Fly is back out of play.
Just over halfway through the season.
It's game 88 tonight. 91 will be played once the All-Star break is had. That starts Monday. The All-Star game this year in Cincinnati. And you've mentioned it, that home run derby could last forever there.
Surprised Lance Berkman didn't come out of retirement to get into that thing. He hit so many bombs at that place.
You think Canseco would agree to come if he was asked?
Oh, you could put Albert Pujols and Lance Berkman in that home run derby.
That'd be good.
Next week, and it would last a couple days.
Oh, your boy Miguel Tejada won that one year against Lance Berkman.
Yeah, at Minute Maid Park.
Yes.
That was a pretty good slugfest.
Michael Bradley with a 1-2 count. Michael Bradley's batting average at .292. He's a good one, and he had a heck of a year last year for the Indians. Hit .327. And I would say to the trained eye, you can see why. He's just so steady at the plate.
It's a little bit easier to maintain a swing that doesn't have many moving parts.
Paul Molitor comes to mind when you say that.
Just that simple little leg kick from Paul Molitor. Sorry, I was thinking of Paul O'Neill. I don't know why.
Little fister fly ball shallow in center field, dropping, diving effort. Marisnick can't come up with it, and I think Jake may be hurt in center field. Second hit of the inning, runners at first and third, but now it's about Jake Marisnick, and is he all right?
Hoping he just knocked the wind out of himself a little bit. He ran into the green monster in Boston, but full speed, full extension on this drop shot from Brantley. Kind of landed on his throwing arm, a little bit awkward. Hopefully nothing too severe, just maybe a little bit of a stinger. Sometimes when you see guys lay out with their both arms fully extended in that dive position, they'll dislocate that right shoulder,
yeah.
But he'd be in a lot more pain if that had happened.
Hopefully everything's all right with Jake. You see what Blummer's talking about, both arms outstretched there.
He's not a small human either.
No, he's a big guy.
6'5", probably about 220.
He's a much bigger guy, at least for me. When I first stood next to him, I was surprised at what a big athlete he is. First and third, 2 outs for Ryan Rayburn, who had a base hit his first at bat. Hit number 5 in the series for Michael Brantley with that drop shot base hit. And a 1-1 count. Rayburn with the base hit in the second inning, now hitting .296. Hank Conger getting the job done, blocking that change. Or was that the breaking ball?
Not sure. I have a tough time.
Yeah, this angle with Obi is a little tough to gauge.
Well, we saw Keuchel start here too. Some of the pitches we thought were sliders turned out to be changeups. Just kind of yanked him a little bit, and maybe coming across the plate a little bit makes him look like that slider.
On the hands, hit in the air, left field. Rasmus is there. That'll do it. A couple of hits in the inning for the Indians, but they strand a pair. It's 1-0 Houston.
Enjoy family-friendly activities at every Sunday Astros home game presented by Kroger. The next Kroger Family Sunday of the season is July 19th when the Astros take on the Rangers. For more information, visit astros.com/Sundays or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Maybe some dreams being built there for young fans.
Dreams and memories hanging out with Pops at the yard.
You remember going to your first ball game?
I do not remember the first one, but I remember the plenty of ball games after that.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of I don't know if I was too young or nothing exciting happened, but I remember going to plenty of baseball games after that.
Preston Tucker at the plate starts the bat. They appeal to third, palms down. 2-0 the count on Preston. Preston gave it a ride fly deep to left field in the first inning. You know what I remember? It was at the old Coliseum in LA. Dodgers and Pirates. Vernon Law was pitching for the Pirates. I remember my dad saying, yeah, the Dodgers are going to lose tonight. They're not going to be able to beat this guy. And I thought, how dare you? How could you say that? But we walked into the Coliseum from the first base side, probably the upper tank. And I looked across the field and the lights were on, and I saw the shiny helmets and everything. And those lights and the shiny helmet for a little kid stuck out in my mind. That was kind of the cool thing going on. 3-1 on Preston. Yeah, it's odd some of the things that go on in the minds of kids, but that really grabbed me. And I thought, boy, this is kind of cool. I like this. And now the leadoff walk. So Tucker aboard for Carlos Correa. Of course, then I went on at Dodger Stadium to see 2 of Sandy Koufax's no-hitters, including the perfect game.
You just hang around no-hitters, huh?
Apparently.
Jeez.
And then got to catch the record breaker as Nolan Ryan went by Sandy Koufax. Very bizarre.
Full circle.
First walk issued now by Anderson, a guy who, by all reports, just isn't going to walk many.
2 walks and 4 starts.
Carlos grounded out easily to third base in the first inning. This game, you get hot in, you get cold in. Cycles that you can't get around. He's 0 for his last 14. Now he lines one right center field on the move, and not able to get there is Brantley. So there you go. You snap the 0 for 14. Runners at first and second on the base hit by Correa, and maybe that can unleash the beast.
Been swinging over some pitches on the inside corner, over the top, missing him. This one really forces himself to stay inside. Takes that down and in, goes the other way. Good piece of hitting. That's a good sign. All you need to do visually as a hitter sometimes is just watch the ball hit open grass. It'll change your outlook completely.
You mean as it comes off your bat, you watch it all the way till it hits open grass?
No,
or
in a
visualize?
Game. No, in a game. I mean, if you're struggling and you finally see that ball hit the grass, didn't your outlook completely change immediately? You're like, hey, there is some open turf out there to go after. Such a relief.
When you get hot, it feels like you can hit it anywhere for a hit. When you are scuffling, there are 17 defensive players out there.
I went to the University of California, Berkeley, in my sophomore, junior year. Dan Say came in and was playing second base. Obviously, his dad was Ron Say. And Ron Say, the Penguin, would come up and throw batting practice to his son. But he would do it before practice on their own time. But he wouldn't allow anybody to be out in the field.
He wanted that view.
He wanted his son to visualize that ball being hit well and landing on the open grass out in the outfield. He just thought that provided such a great visual.
That's intriguing. 1-2 now on Valbuena.
I had a comment that kind of stuck with me playing with Frank Robinson early in my career, and he would talk in different situations about don't try to do this or that, just see how hard you can hit the baseball, and it kind of stuck for me.
No.
One of those things that you did as a kid when you were having fun. You just tried to hit it hard, right?
No, it's funny you say that, because I got traded from Montreal to Houston my first time in 2002, and I'm going through, it probably had to be like an 0 for 32 or something like that. Harry Spielman was the hitting coach at the time, and I've been in the cage, for a couple days now. Finally, he stands up and yells at me, "Would you just try and see how hard you can hit the next pitch?" And when you're thinking about how do I get myself in a position to hit this pitch as hard as I possibly can, all of a sudden you find out your hands are back, the foot is down, and all you're thinking about is getting the barrel to the baseball. Again, simplifying.
And don't confuse that for how far you can hit the baseball. It's not that.
Yes.
It's how hard you can hit it. Sometimes you hit a ground ball really hard.
Yeah.
And
you can take a good bat path, a good swing, get it on the barrel, hit it on the sweet spot.
2-2 now. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. The Astros trying to add to a 1-0 lead. Hank Conger has gone yard. And Robbie used to talk about hit and run scenarios. Don't try to flare one the other way. Don't do that. He'd say, what I want as a manager is somebody to hit the ball hard on the ground. Just try to hit it hard on the ground. I don't care where it goes. I'll take my chances. There goes the runners. Pitch a ball, the throw down to third, and they've got an easy out.
Isn't that ball? What just happened right there? You don't have it. Normally you don't have a 2-2 hit and run type situation.
Is that likely that Preston Tucker thought it was 3-2?
I'm guessing. I'm not sure. But he must have thought that was a 3-2 count.
That's what I mean, prior on the pitch.
Ouch.
Ooh, that's a painful first out. Moving into second base is Carlos Correa.
Well, you know what's going to happen right here. It's going to be a base hit.
Well, if you get a base hit, you're likely to get a run, but yeah, I hear you. Caught stealing. There's a drive center field. Brantley is back with room. Catch is made, tagging and coming to third base Correa, but there are 2 outs in the inning now.
Time now for the TXU Energy Powered Player of the Game. It's Evan Gattis. This is back on April 26th when we first saw him go up the ladder and attack a fastball about beard high. That was a line drive to center. That was yesterday. Trevor Bauer could not believe it. Maybe trying to waste a pitch, but then ended up getting annihilated. We get a side by side. You can see that pitch on the. Man, those might be equal height. People at home, you can tweet Alcat Tash about how many Altuves it is off the ground that he barreled those up. But I mean, the ability to get the barrel around that fastball at that height is pretty darn impressive.
Yeah, that Alcat Ash came from the very first days of internet addresses. It was a combination of me,
You're an early tweeter,
Al, and my wife, Catherine. And so that's how you made yourself an email address back in those days.
Does she send tweets from your account?
No.
She doesn't have access?
I don't send tweets from my account. Runner at third, 2 outs for Gattis. Pitch a little too low as he grounds it to second base. And that'll do it. The inning started promisingly. Didn't end that way. Astros leave a man at third, lead it 1-0.
Bottom of the fourth here at Progressive Field. It's 1-0 Astros. Join the Astros at Minute Maid Park on Saturday, July 18th for 80s night. The team will be wearing throwback uniforms, and 10,000 fans will receive a Nolan Ryan replica rainbow jersey presented by Nolan Ryan Beef. For more info, visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Brett Overholtzer back on the mound. Flew in last night, had some difficulties. I don't know if you guys heard about the United troubles with the computer glitch. Lots of flight delays, but Obi, being a part of that, did make it in. It was just kind of late last night, so he did not make it to the park. Just got a nice night's rest. But as for that Yankee situation you guys were talking about earlier, AJ addressed it before the game today and said that him and Obi talked after that game. It's all in the past, no baggage moving forward. It was just a simple situation back then, and to be optioned that night, they needed an extra arm at the time. So today he gives them the chance to win, and that's what they're hoping for from Oberholzer.
Yeah, thanks, Julia. And yes, we do follow world events going on. Computer glitch day yesterday. And good to see Obi back and pitching well. I think one thing that we feel about A.J. Hinch is he does not provide the baggage. He lets it all be in the past, and I think it's just a great thing.
Well, we know he's a day-to-day guy, which is a good thing for these young Astros because they could dwell on some things, but he's always showing up every day with the same attitude, trying to keep these guys going, knowing it's a grind.
Went just inside. 2-1 the count. Carlos Santana leading off here in the fourth. Oh, 89 batting average when behind in the count. Wow.
So you don't want to be in a 3-1 count against him.
I might get him out.
Saying you got a chance?
That's a shot off the glove of Valbuena, third into left field. Leadoff single for the Indians. Santana has walked and singled now. Well, with nobody out, it brings up the catcher, Yan Gomes.
That'll boost that average up around 400. But that's the thing. You fall behind in Oberholzer and you get 3-1. He's got to come at you with a fastball. You're going to find pitchers normally have a lot of control with that, able to throw that in the strike zone. You'd like to see a little bit better location. This one pretty much right down the middle. But again, the Indians having a tough time driving guys in once they actually get on base.
Santana doesn't run a lot, but he has stolen 3 bags this year in 4 tries. Yan Gomes struck out in the second inning, the only strikeout of the night recorded by Obi. And it came with runners at first and second and nobody out in that second inning. Shift on.
And we already showed the ground ball rate for Obi, over 50%.
He's gotten 4 ground ball outs tonight, 3 of those, though, coming in the first inning. 0-2 the count now on Gomes. Gomes with 3 hits in the series, 3 for 12. A couple of doubles as he fouls one right side. 0-2 the count. The only run of the ball game, a home run by Hank Conger. It came leading off the third inning. Took a close fastball with a couple of strikes. It was called a ball, and he got one more pitch and took full advantage. Gomes down on strikes, second time tonight. With 1 out, it brings up the left-hand hitting David Murphy.
Time now for our AT&T Rewind. Takes us back to July 9th, 1988, when Nolan Ryan became only the second player in Major League history to win 100 games each for 2 teams in 2 separate leagues, joining Cy Young in the elite club. Nolan would finish his Astros career that year with 106. That doesn't sound right, but 106 wins to go with his 138 wins with the California Angels and 324 wins overall. Quite a mouthful.
Quite a stat sheet full. I don't know. Are we going to see 300 game winners? Is that coming anymore?
Nope.
I don't think it will.
Anybody on pace right now? Who's hanging around? Anybody lingering?
No, the first guy that came to mind was CC Sabathia. I don't know exactly why, but
what about a Clayton Kershaw?
Well, he's off to a great start. To get 300 wins, 15 wins for 20 years.
Yeah. My goodness. That's what, 3 Tommy Johns?
Might be more these days now.
No, it'll be interesting to see how things unfold, because now this era of bullpens where pitchers only have to go 6 innings before bullpens pick them up, they might be able to pull that off. But 15 wins, that's a lot of wins these days in the big leagues.
It is.
Cy Young Award winners are between that 15 and 20 range.
Well, you're talking now about 33 to 34 starts a year if you pitch every 5th day. Well, back by Murphy. It's 2-2. How many 20-game winners have we seen in recent years? And you bring up Kershaw.
You're going to make me.
Well, yeah, it's kind of that
study
dangling question for anybody out there. Breaking ball hit high and deep down the right side. Watch it at the pole, and it goes foul. Just a long, noisy foul ball. It stays at 2-2.
It always seems like Murphy is in the middle of something against the Astros, whether he's wearing a Rangers uniform, Indians uniform. He's getting good looks on left-handed pitching. He got that game-winning hit last night off of Thatcher.
Ground ball right side, could be 2. Altuve, Correa, and on to Singleton. They get the double play and the first of the night. 4-6-3 it goes. That'll do it for the Tribe in the 4th inning. 1-0 Houston.
Impressive. We are done here in Cleveland, Ohio. We're going to leave this kind of overcast city for a little bit and head down to the Sunshine State in Florida, face the Tampa Bay Rays for a 3-game set over the weekend before heading into that All-Star week. 4 days off. I'm sure the Astros will have a workout day on that last day in preparation for that homestand, starting off with the Texas Rangers and a day off in between them and the Boston Red Sox coming into town. Hall of Fame weekend, 24th, 25th, 26th. The Astros will be on the road, but a lot of front office will be up in Cooperstown watching Craig Biggio be inducted.
First pitch raked into right field. Solid base hit. Colby Rasmus gets it started. 3rd hit for the Astros tonight. So Colby aboard for Hank Conger. He has been the offense. Hit his 5th home run of the year, leading off the 3rd inning. Okay, so we were talking about pitchers and the chances of getting to 300 wins. Right now, the active leaders that I have anyway, Tim Hudson at 219. He's 39 years of age. Bartolo Colon, who's 62, has 213 wins.
So he's got plenty of game left.
Yeah. 213. CC Sabathia has 212. He's 34. Mark Burley at 36 has 208. And then you drop on down to Barry Zito with 165 wins. So, I mean, it paints a picture that says there's nobody right now on the horizon of making that happen. Now, I might have said Justin Verlander as the pitch is fouled down the left side. Verlander has really seen his game slide, and he's at 152. He's 32 years of age. Where are the numbers we talked about at the top? A.J. Burnett. He's had a resurgence this year, coming back to the Pirates.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening.
Just think it's going to be really tough now to get to 300 wins. Popped up left side. That's back in the seats. 0-2 on Hank. Did that hit her on the head? Goodness gracious.
Put a glove on that skull. They just start handing out hard hats when you sit in the lower sections here.
Yes, screens down the lines aren't going to help on that one.
Didn't we see a guy the other day get hit? She's in good shape. That's all that matters. Saw somebody get hit in the forehead. They were icing it with a beer.
Yeah, well, the guy himself was doing that. Yeah, he was in good hands. Little tapper in front of the plate.
On it is Gomes. He'll check second and fire on down to first for the out, and maybe with a chance to take off Colby Rasmus at second, but it's one out. Rasmus in scoring position for John Singleton.
It's too bad you can't get a sack bunt on a swinging bunt.
Yeah, they don't hand those out very often anymore. You played with Jake Peavy, right?
I did.
He's got 139 wins.
I was with him when he won his Cy Young in 2007.
Yeah, I don't see anybody on that list right now that I would say, watch this guy. I think he's got a chance. A run on 3 hits for Houston. No runs, 4 hits for the Indians. It's the 7th and final meeting of the year between these two clubs, and the Indians have already guaranteed a win of the season series. They've taken 4 of the first 6. Terry Francona trying to get his club back in contention. Going to take quite a run in the second half.
Good time to hit. 2-0, sit on that fastball. We know Anderson throws a ton of them.
There's the heater, but up.
I've seen a lot of those fastballs left up from Anderson.
Yeah, we were told before play tonight that Anderson, in brief outings now in the big leagues, had never gone to 3-0. Can't say never anymore.
You giving him the green light right here?
Well, you might. Jake Marisnick is the 9-hitter. He waits on deck. What do you say?
Yeah. That tells me he didn't like it.
Yeah, that's...
And again, you get that green light 3-0. You want to look for a cookie. You're not looking for that nasty pitch on the outside corner. If he does make that pitch, you just tip your cap. Still in the hitter's counting 3-1.
Yeah, that was cap tipping time right there, too. Outside black. There's the walk. And the second issued by Anderson. 1 out, runners at first and second, and Jake Marisnick at the plate.
At bat for Houston, center fielder Jake Marisnick.
Yan Gomes out to the mound.
Well, that's 2 walks in this game alone. Cody Anderson had 2 walks in the previous 3 starts. And Marisnick had a pretty good pass on him the first time going around. Flew out to the warning track in left field.
Just got under one. On to Tampa for 3 games for the Astros following tonight's game. Colin McHugh has the assignment tomorrow night in Tampa against Erasmo Ramirez. Then a couple of day games, a 4:10 start on the Saturday game. Dallas Keuchel goes against Jake Odorizzi. Lance McCullers gets that final start of the first half. He'll face Matt Moore, the left-hander for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has seen their fortunes tail off here recently. They're now in 4th place in the East. Ground ball to third, step on the bag. It's a fair ball, and they get the double play. 5 unassisted, 3. And that does it. Marisnick puts it right on the spot for the Indians. 1-0 Houston. Airlines. Book your low fare right now at southwest.com. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. There you go, downtown Cleveland. It's this big. Really?
Did you go to Guy's Pizza? You should have.
We're all getting along here in Cleveland. Brett Oberholzer working here in the 5th inning, leading 1-0. Hank Conger with a dinger. That's been it. Strike called outside corner. 8-hitter Giovanni Urshela at the plate. Ground ball back to the mound. Obi with the play. And the first out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll bring up 9-hitter, the left fielder Mike Aviles. Nice to have a job where you can invite some family members. I know Jeff Blum right now had a chance the last inning or so to have a family member and some of his buddies, pro ball players, come in, minor league players, and watch things from the booth. Kind of nice for you.
Really cool. Yeah, they're playing about 20 minutes away. And it's my cousin Taylor Murphy, who got drafted last year by the Cleveland Indians, now and playing A-ball out here, and brought a couple of his teammates. They got rained out earlier today, so he got to come out and hopefully hang out at a place where he might be playing someday. He seems so much bigger and stronger than I remember when I was in A-ball. Good grief.
Yeah, that group
was a strong crew of kids.
Four players right there. That was impressive.
No, but it is great. He's a good kid.
1-2 the count on Aviles, batting with 1 out in the 5th inning. Jason Kipnis to follow. Talking about the Indians moments ago. They're trying with a win tonight to get to 41 and 44, get back to that 500 mark. It's hard as a team to say let's get back in things until you at least get to 500.
500 is where it's at. Once you get to that point, then you can really start turning things around and driving up towards some of the division leaders.
Strike 3 called inside corner. 3rd strikeout for Obi, and the 2nd out of the inning.
Come out to the St. Arnold's Bar at Minute Maid Park for Baseball on Tap on Friday, July 17th. It kicks off at 4:30 p.m. and features a beer tasting, live music, and a souvenir Astros pint glass to the first 500 fans with an event ticket. For more information, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com/baseball-on-tap.
Jason Kipnis has grounded out twice. Takes a well-spotted fastball. Batting average for Kipnis right now at .333. Good hitter and an all-star this year. He'll be, along with Jose Altuve, one of the second basemen on the club. Popped up left side. It's Colby Rasmus coming in, foul territory, and he'll make the catch. That does it. A 1-2-3 5th inning. Brett Oberholzer pitching very well in his return to the club. Leads it 1-0.
The day is A.J. Hinch on where Jed Lowry might play when he returns. He said he's taking ground balls at short and third. He's watching and he understands. He's played just about everywhere in his career. But having a definitive plan, it's nothing that we're discussing. So not looking too far ahead, but Jed Lowry could be back as early as the very end of July. And we've seen him with the team on the past couple of road trips, which is good. But it's going to be a tough decision with these Houston Astros coming up here at the end of the month, maybe beginning of August.
Yeah, thanks, Julia. I agree. I think it is going to be tough. Jed Lowry played so well at the start of the year as Altuve leads off here in the 6th inning. Played so well that you got to figure he's going to be in there somewhere. But how does it fit? I think we all have our opinions.
I've grown to love Jed Lowry. I think he's a great hitter. He was really one of the better hitters in the lineup early on this season.
Altuve pops it up. There's the first out of the 6th inning. 0 for 3 is Jose.
There you get a look at Jed, who's been taking ground balls all over the place. And I think it's smart he's still taking ground balls at short and third, because he will relieve Carlos Correa if he needs a day off. But I think Jed maybe playing a little bit of third is a good thing, giving Carlos Correa a chance to really flourish there at shortstop, because I think Carlos Correa is quite good. And I'm sure if you ask Jed, he would agree that in order for this Astros ball club to be stronger, it is to have Jed Lowrie in the lineup. Just where?
Weston Tucker hits one on 2 hops to second. 2 quick outs here in the 6th. And Carlos Correa comes to the plate. You say you've seen him taking ground balls all over the place. Does that include first base?
I have not seen him take ground balls over there yet, but I would imagine with the way things are going that it could be a possibility. And he's a good enough athlete, obviously. If he's playing shortstop, you can move all over the diamond, and I think it would be a quick study for him to even move over to first base.
You know, some infielders, good ones, and Jed's been a good infielder, no doubt about it, take offense to being asked too early in their career to go play first base. I don't know how he feels about that. Carlos Correa snapped an 0 for 14 with a base hit to center field in the 4th inning. I think it's been the hope that Jed Lowrie would be ready to go following the All-Star break. I don't know if he's quite to that point yet. You have a feeling on that?
Well, the hand is so iffy for me. You got to be real sure that that thing's healthy and you're ready to go. But once you start swinging the bat, it takes a while to get the swinging muscles back in shape, and then you got to go out on a rehab assignment and make sure that your timing is back before you come up to the big leagues.
And there's no rehab scheduled yet for Jed, is that right?
Not that I have heard.
Yeah, you had that steady switch hitting bat for Jed, and he was really good right-handed at the start of this year. That was the power side.
Oh, but the ABs he was putting together,
yeah,
and the clutch RBI base hits he would get.
Strike called at the knees, caught looking Correa. That's the first strikeout of the night for Anderson. A 1-2-3 6th. It's 1-0 Houston.
First African American to play in the American League. Finally made it into the Hall in 1998. Led the Indians to their last World Series title in 1948.
He was a hitting coach one of the maybe 1 or 2 years, one of the early years I had with the Indians.
Good man.
Yeah, I mean, some guys, some of the rookies aren't right in the wheelhouse of some hitting coaches. Maybe I didn't have a whole lot of conversations with Larry Doby, but seemed like a solid gentleman. Francisco Lindor leads off here in the 6th inning. Has a hit in 2 at bats. He'll be followed by Brantley and Rayburn. Brett Oberholzer dealing through 5 innings. The Astros, hate to start saying desperately, but certainly could use a win tonight to even the series at 2 games apiece. Just inside, it's 2-1. The Astros lost 2 of 3 in Boston to start the trip, and now have lost 2 of the first 3 here in Cleveland. A.J. Hinch looking ahead in the ball game. Pitch rammed to left field. That's deep. Back at the wall. Watch this thing. And we are tied at 1. That is just the 2nd major league home run for Francisco Lindor. One tie here in the 6th. Nobody out.
Unlikely power source Lindor is, but pulls the hands in nicely. Oberholzer trying to get in the kitchen of Lindor. Just a good pitch. It might have been elevated just a little bit, but Lindor clears out that front side nicely and gets the barrel on it.
So the Tribe gets even. Nobody out for Michael Brantley. He's 1 for 2.
Just 8 RBIs for Lindor. Sharp shot down the right field side. This is extra bases. Tucker gets it back in. It's a double for Brantley, so a dinger and a double, and the Indians starting to swing it well in the 6th inning. And that will likely create some activity in the Astros pen.
Looked like Brantley saw that breaking ball for quite a long time. The hands were back. Nice easy load. We keep talking about how quiet he is up there until he sees a pitch he wants to hit and then just unleashes the fury on it.
24 doubles for Brantley. Ryan Rayburn is 1 for 2. Rayburn is that cleanup man that has the assignment with a man at second base and nobody out in a tight ball game. Does he try to drive in the run, or does he try to shoot one to right?
I'd like to say he's trying to drive in the run, but there is a huge hole on that right side.
Yeah, he could kind of do double duty by hitting one that way. Strike on the inside edge. Obi makes it tough on him. Josh Fields starting to get loose in the Astros pen.
Tell you what, Obi's pitched quite well.
Yeah, he has.
Getting into the 6th inning with 1 earned run. He's doing some yeoman's work, keeping his ball club in this game. The offense just, again, 3 hits through 6 innings. Only run coming on a Hank Conger home run.
Allowing that run here in the 6th. Obi has a composite ERA at 3.99, so he's under the 4 mark. You're talking about a 4 or 5 guy in a rotation. Most teams would be very pleased with that. Two and 2, and Obi steps off. Brings out Hank Conger. Watching Josh Fields in the bullpen, it's not like he's under duress trying to get loose, taking his time. Line drive, that's a hit down the left side. That'll score Brantley easy. Another extra base hit. RBI double by Ryan Rayburn, his 2nd hit of the night. And for the first time in the evening, the Indians take the lead.
Still nobody out here in the 6th inning. The way the Astros offense is going, you don't want this to spiral out of control for Oberholzer. Again, trying to get in the kitchen of a right-handed hitter, but we've talked about how Rayburn swings the bat well against left-handed pitchers here at Progressive. Adds another hit to that total.
.21 RBIs now for Rayburn. That's his 13th double. And now the 5-hitter Carlos Santana at the plate. This is unraveled quickly. A leadoff home run by Francisco Lindor. And now A.J. Hinch, after some time is taken there, comes out to the mound. The 2 doubles follow. Hinch goes to the bullpen. He'll bring in Josh Fields. And that'll turn Carlos Santana around. And for A.J. Hinch, no doubt he's looking to see momentum turn around in the inning. Inning started with the Astros leading 1-0 as Obi walks off. It's 2-1 Cleveland here in the 6th.
and Tribe fans, Minutemen is donating $200 to Cleveland.
AT&T called to the bullpen as the Astros bring in Josh Fields.
Look at Josh's numbers on the season. 29th appearance. Doing a good job of stranding those inherited runners, only allowing 2 of them to score all season long. Batting average against 167. Whip hanging around that 1 mark. Last pitched Monday.
Now on the pitch is number 35, Josh Fields. Once again, stepping to the plate for the Tribe, the first baseman, Carlos Santana.
Santana bats with nobody out. Rayburn at second base. Santana has walked and singled. Then was doubled up on a ground ball hit by David Murphy to end the 4th inning. So Obi had it his way working into the 6th. For that 3rd time, 4th time through the, well, 3rd time through the order for the Indians. They jumped all over Obi, and now the assignment for Fields to hold it right here. Santana with a .212 mark. Frustrating, no doubt, for Brett Oberholzer.
Really nothing to be ashamed of.
No, not at all. Good outing as the Astros seek their 50th win of the year. That's back in the seats. 1-1 the count on Santana.
So if you take away the first game of the series where the Astros won, they get shut out the second game of the series. 2 runs yesterday, and now they have 1 run through 6 in this game here. So the offense has run into a buzzsaw.
One and 2 the count. Left center field, a deep, long run for Marisnik. And he is not going to get there. It's off the wall. Rasmus will pick it up, but not before another run scores. Ryan Rayburn to the plate. RBI triple Santana, and still nobody out. Tribe on top 3-1.
Fastball right down the middle. When you know a guy's throwing hard, all you got to do is get those hands ready. You know Josh Fields is aggressive with that fastball, but we're seeing some pitches left up out over the plate, allowing these Indian hitters to barrel it up and find those gaps.
Jan Gomes at the plate has struck out twice. One and one on the Indians catcher. And now Roberto Hernandez, former Indian, gets loose.
Still only 3 runs. I mean, if they can get out of this inning, that would be a great thing, but it's going to be tough to do with nobody out in the inning. 3 outs to get, leave that runner stranded at third base. We've seen it happen before. But it's going to take some serious work and good pitching.
That fastball ran up and in and close. Goes to Yan Gomes. Down for the 3rd time on strikes, Yan Gomes. That's the first out of the inning, as it brings up David Murphy. So Gomes with a long night.
Gomes was having a tough time catching up to Brett Overholtzer's fastball, striking out twice previously. Now with Josh Fields coming in, really bringing some heat, blows the doors off Yan Gomes for that 3rd strikeout of the game for him.
Infield draws in for the Astros, and they're going to put Murphy on intentionally. That'll bring up the 8-hitter Giovanni Urshela. Also set up the possibility of a double play.
And considering the way Murphy's been swinging the bat against the Astros, good move. Although last time out there, Murphy grounded into the 4-6-3 double play. But in order to have that double play, we got to have a guy at first base. Murphy a perfect candidate.
Two wide ones. Urshela, right-hand hitter. And there's the 4th. So runners at the corners, 1 out. Left-hander Tony Sipp now getting up along with Roberto Hernandez.
Number 39, Giovanni Urshela.
Josh Fields is not a guy who gets a lot of ground balls, but still that hope for maybe a ground ball to get out of the inning.
Yeah, I guess if you were talking about Josh Fields, you would definitely say he's a strikeout pitcher, fly ball pitcher. Throws that 4-seam fastball with some late life on it. Gets those pop-ups.
There's your pop-up. Shallow in right field. Tucker coming on. He'll make the play. 2 outs, runners hold. And that is a big out. So 2 outs now as the 9-hitter Micah Vilas comes to the plate.
Batting for the Indians, the left fielder, Micah Vilas.
Yeah, Vilas right now in this situation is a big out. He gets on base somehow or extends this inning and gets a guy like Kipnis up there, who's an extremely good hitter, having a good year. Could get tough real quick. Good job getting to 2 outs by Josh Fields. Got to finish it. Ooh.
1-0 the count.
Looked like a relatively decent pitch.
Trying to get that up and in fastball for a strike, was it? Should have been. And now 1-1. Leadoff man Jason Kipnis waits on deck. The Astros a game and a half up on second place LA. And they would love to take a win out of Cleveland as they move on to Tampa Bay. Ground ball left side. Backhand side for Correa. The long throw. And he got him. That'll do it for the Tribe in the 6th inning as the bats come alive for Cleveland. They lead it 3-1.
Clues for Name That Astro, brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Here they are again. Let's see, what was the one that gave it away? Oh, it was the nail file. Everyone thought this was so easy. All right, here's our guys, do you have the answer?
Yeah, I think we might. Yeah.
Well, there we go. Joe, do you know who he hit that one career home run off of?
Yeah, this came up for us tonight, and
a lot of my Twitter people got it too.
Twitter's all over it.
It's a brother on brother.
Yeah. I have a feeling it wasn't a knuckleball. I believe it was in Atlanta, if I recall correctly.
Oh, the launching pad.
And I think it went right down the line. What a great guy, Joe Niekro, and tremendous pitcher. Now, after one pitch into the inning, Terry Francona, along with the trainer for the Indians, coming out to see what's going on with their right-hander. Apparently, something was seen there as a ball was delivered to Valbuena.
No, I didn't see anything. Did you see anything?
Not a bit.
Maybe they're in shock that he's walked two people in this game.
Better watch out what you say. It could lead to something.
Always does. Nature of the business. Well, here we go. Throw the flag for delay of game on Terry Francona.
Anderson stays in. And it's a ball and a strike. Valbuena, Gaddis, and Rasmus here in the 7th inning.
Oh boy. Where's Vanna White when you need her?
Mark Zipchinski.
Nice attaboy.
Vanna gave me a tip earlier.
That's good, because I had no idea.
No?
I was going to try and pronounce it letter for letter.
Well, you'd have to start with the R sound if you did on Zipchinski.
Matinsky? Yeah. Why don't we just call him Ski?
Didn't catch who the right-hander was up for the Indians, but 3-1. Valbuena leading off. Pops it up down the left field side. That's slicing. And just does get to the seats.
I believe that right-hander was Brian Shaw.
Gotcha. Seventh inning. There's Brian Shaw, and how do you say it?
Zipchinski. Yep, that's him. Zipchinski.
Nailed.
Yep. There's a couple of testers around the league for me.
Ground ball back to the hill. Nice play by Anderson. So his glove side's all right. First out here in the 7th inning. We'll bring up Evan Gaddis, still looking for a hit tonight. 9-game hitting streak in tow. Houston with just 3 hits on the night against Anderson. Indians now have 8 hits as they put 3 runs on the board. Anderson has put up 3 1-2-3 innings. Not a lot of razzle dazzle, just pumps the fastball, mixes in the change, occasional breaking ball that hasn't been spotted all that well. Here comes the change. Slow roller left side at third base. Urshela makes a fine play and a second out on ground balls.
Looking for games on certain days of the week with giveaways and favorite rivalries? With the Astros 14-game flex plan, you get to pick the games and seat locations that work best for you. Purchase your 14-game flex plan today by visiting astros.com/tickets or calling 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Colby Rasmus is 1 for 2. Had a base hit leading off the 5th inning. One of the 3 Houston hits. And now Terry Francona has seen enough, it would seem. And that does it. Francona wants the baseball. Anderson leaves, and he does so with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Nobody on base.
79 pitches. That's all. The Indians lead it 3-1 as Francona goes to the bullpen. To the plate, Terry Francona doesn't want to leave any chances, so he brings in the left-hander, Jeff Blum's favorite lefty, Mark Zepchinski.
Yeah, good old Zep. 39th appearance, 3.71 ERA. That whip around 1.5. Lefties have got him this year. Getting roughed up a little bit. Last 5 appearances, 2 earned runs, 3 walks.
That probably tells you how Terry Francona feels about this particular ball game. Everyone is precious, and so you battle tooth and nail and try to pick up your W's. It's no doubt the very same for A.J. Hinch. 2 outs in the 7th. Indians failed to get on the board until the 6th inning, but then put 3 runs on the board in that inning. 0-1 the count. Colby 10 bombs on the year, hitting .244. Down to the count, 0-2. Zepchinski hasn't totally dominated the left-hand hitters this year. They've hit .239 against him, and in fact the 1 home run he's allowed this year at the expense of a left-handed bat. Just a .323 slugging percentage against this left-hander who just misses away. Count evens at 2-2 on Rasmus. Hank Conger waits on deck.
Strike zone knowledge. Not bad.
Rasmus stays alive at 2-2. Really turned into a pleasant evening for a ball game. The rain was forecast to last till about 6 this evening. I think it quit a bit earlier than that.
Thankfully.
About midday it was bringing it pretty well.
Sure was.
3-2 the count. Zepchinski brings the 3-2. Line shot on a hop, handled there by Lindor, the shortstop, on that shift. And a 1-2-3 7th inning, 3 ground ball outs. To the bottom of the 7th we go. 3-1 Indians.
Plug your way to the Home Run Derby crown and master the free award-winning game millions are playing. Download MLB.com Home Run Derby free on the App Store and Google Play. Ash?
Thanks a lot, Julia. Staying warm?
Oh, I'm all right.
Yeah?
It's a little damp all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Some moisture in the air coming down, but I'm getting used to it after a couple of days of this.
Are you tied with Jeff Blum tonight? 1-1?
1 apiece.
Yeah.
Well played, Julia. Well played.
Tony Sepp comes on to work it here in the bottom of the 7th inning to face the top of the order, Kipnis, Lindor, and Brantley.
35th game, still some good numbers. Good numbers against these Cleveland Indians.
Lefty versus lefty here in the 7th. Jason Kipnis 0 for 3. Batting average now dipping just below the 333 mark. Valbuena drawn in on the grass on the third base side. Fairly straight up infield on Kipnis, who has shown that he'll hit it the other way just as easily as pulling the ball. You can see the outfield. It shades well toward the left side. 11,496 on hand tonight. With the 49 wins, the Astros are now tied with Kansas City for most wins in the league. But Kansas City has lost 5 less times now than the Astros. And for the first time all year, or in just a while, the Astros have dipped below 500 on the road, 21-22. Right on the fists of Kipnis. It's 2-2. Early goings on tonight's game had a real nice brisk pace. It's slowed down now with the bullpens coming in. Zip brings the 2-2, and it's fouled back.
Pretty quick adjustment from Kipnis. Sip trying to throw another fastball in there, blew him up on that pitch before. Kipnis just missed that one.
Kipnis just a couple of hits in the series. Had one in game 1, one in last night's game. That was a triple. And a big one as the Indians eventually won that one. And again, the foul ball on the left side. Kipnis had a disappointing year last year for the Indians. Hit just .240. That after hitting .284 in 2013. But he's turned it around in a big way this year. Little tapper on the ground, first base side. Singleton is there. He'll take it to the bag. And the first out of the inning. Brings up the guy that got the 6th inning started for Cleveland. Francisco Lindor led off with a home run, the 2nd that he's ever hit in the major leagues. Just scraped out in left field on the top edge of that very tall wall in left field. But then Michael Brantley doubled, as did Ryan Rayburn. In fact, 3 consecutive doubles. Carlos Santana. Now Santana had a triple in that inning. So it was 4 consecutive extra base hits. The Indians wind up getting 3 in the inning, lead it 3-1. Two and 0 the count. Hit in the air to right center field. Marisnick was shaded that way and makes the play. 2 outs in the inning. And Michael Brantley comes to the plate. He's 2 for 3.
Played in a couple ballparks already that have that larger left field wall. It's kind of interesting. Go from Minute Maid to Fenway Park, now Progressive. Makes it fun. Hard to believe that's 37 feet tall.
Well, Boston's much taller at 137, I think.
I'm kidding. This one here is only 19 feet tall.
What is Houston?
I'm not sure.
Right around 19 feet, I want to say. So yeah, that's pretty similar to Houston, although things change out in left center field. Brantley takes the ball. It's 1-0. With the 2 hits tonight, Brantley now hitting .297 as he creeps toward 300. 19 feet is the height of that wall in Houston.
There you go.
If you said 300 was the over-under mark for Michael Brantley and you were looking toward what the number might be at the end of this year, where would you go?
Over.
Easily for me, over. Good looking hitter. Again, Brantley last year hit .327. That was the breakout season for Brantley. And I think the Indians probably feel like they've got a guy that's going to hit 300 plus. Not only did he hit .327, he hit 20 home runs, drove in 97. Has a 2-2 count against Sip. Roberto Hernandez continues to get loose in that Astros bullpen in right center. Yeah, so not only the batting average tailing off this year to this point for Brantley, the home runs are down. 3-2.
How many did he hit last year?
20.
Nice. That's a good number for him to hang around.
Just below the 100 RBI mark. Now, he's one of those centerpieces in the batting order you would think for a long time. Sure, the Astros are hoping that Carlos Correa is one of those guys. George Springer would have the abilities to be that guy, that's for certain. Stays at 3-2. I guess that's a pretty easy way to pick up a baseball.
That makes everything right.
Sure, he's going to share with his sister, though. Drilled to right field. Tucker with an early jump. There to make the catch. A 1-2-3 7th inning. To the 8th we go. Astros down a pair.
And Cleveland and bringing the lumber. It's Yellowwood. The only one that's brought the lumber this evening is Hank Conger. What was that? That was way back in the 3rd inning. The lone Astros run, got himself a changeup up out of the plate. Getting that start behind the dish against right-handed thrower Cody Anderson. Took advantage of it early. Trying to do it again from the right side. Maybe do it from both sides of the plate. One of those unique joys of being a switch hitter is trying to be able to do that.
Hank had not hit a home run from the right side prior to this season. He's done it twice now. 7, 8, 9. Conger, Singleton, and Marisnick due up. Marwin Gonzalez has a bat waiting on deck. So it would appear that the Astros will pinch hit for John Singleton here in the 8th. One and one the count. Zepchinski staying on. He's one of those guys that generally doesn't get more than about 1 or 2 outs. 39th appearance, just 17 total innings.
That's how many letters are in his name.
17. I saw you counting things up. I didn't realize where you were going, but nice.
It's a little extra I bring to the broadcast.
Yeah. Don't think I don't notice either.
It's amazing.
Right on the fist, it's fouled back. 2-2. Hank trying to decrease that lead with one swing.
Yeah. Trying to hit a home run from both sides of the plate.
Conger has 5 long balls now. And down on strikes. Breaking ball gets him. First out here in the 8th inning. Just the second strikeout of an Astros hitter, and we check in with Julie on that note.
Hey guys, we'll see Marwin Gonzalez here, but John Singleton, Chris Carter splitting time, playing time at first base here recently. Carter, we've seen some times where he's gotten hot, but they're still kind of waiting for that stretch that we saw last year. Also, John Singleton not off to the great start that everyone had hoped he'd be after tearing it up at AAA since he's been up here. So it's something that A.J. Hinch is going to have to navigate through. It's more of a matchup thing right now, but definitely just hoping one of these two get hot here pretty soon or right after the All-Star break.
Thanks, Julia. Yeah. Some of the issues on the ball club and the other first place club as Terry Francona has come out. He's taken Mark Zubczynski out of the ball game, and the Indians will go to their bullpen with 1 out here in the 8th inning, and the Indians leading it 3-1. Let's check out what's going on.
7 games, 8 RBIs down in Lancaster. You got A.J. Reed. He's been killing the ball all year. 22 home runs, 77 RBIs, leads in both in the minor leagues. 2nd round pick in 2014. That kid's got a bright future. But yeah, things get sped up a little bit in the minor leagues when you start putting up numbers like that, and the guys in the big leagues aren't producing as much as they'd like. Kind of forces the issue a little bit. And we've never doubted the talent of these guys. It's just a matter of getting the job done here at the major league level.
John Singleton was tearing up the minor leagues this year with long balls and RBIs.
Sure was.
I don't know. I always wonder about that fine line between AAA and the major leagues. To you, is there enough difference to create the difference we see with a lot of guys?
I'm not sure. I played against and with guys, and you talk to ex-major leaguers around the league. We had a term for that, and it was called quadruple A. You know, there's single A, double A, triple A, but there's this level in between where guys excel at, but once they get to the major leagues, for whatever reason, the numbers just don't pan out. And I don't know how to explain it. I wish I did, because then we could go down there and, you know, give some of the knowledge to these guys and let them go out there, relax, and do what they did in the minor leagues, because the numbers that John Singleton had in the minor leagues say that he should be in the major leagues.
Well, at times watching him last year, when he initially showed up on the big league scene and hit an early home run and just some of the things he was doing, he looked like he was going to be one of those heart of your order guys.
We saw him hit Napo home runs. We saw a grand slam in Minnesota. Good things happening. It's just, you know, how do you get that confidence and get that hot stretch going to be able to pump those numbers up and put together a nice long stretch of success.
The Astros bats need some good things to happen now. Marwin Gonzalez, the pinch hitter for John Singleton, stands in. 1 out, bases empty. Jake Marisnick waits on deck. Marwin's hitting .251. He's done a nice job.
A.J. Hinch said he's one of the more underappreciated players in all of the American League.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, you start talking utility players, and that's what Marwin is right now. He's been really solid.
Defensively, he's been stellar.
You put him at short, second, third, maybe even a little in the outfield. Might be speed challenged in the outfield. Hard to say, but he's really done a fine job.
But swinging a bat from both sides of the plate will keep you around for a little bit too.
He also possesses a stronger arm than I think a lot of people realize. Brian Shaw, you see some of the numbers on the year.
Good numbers. Cutter, split finger combination. Another ex-teammate out there in Arizona.
High chopper to second. 2 big hops for Kipnis. And the second out of the inning. So the Astros have just 4 more outs here on the evening. They're down 2 runs in the 8th.
The batter for the Astros, the center fielder, Jake Marisnick.
That brings up Jake Marisnick, who was flied out and grounded into a double play.
Last 3 games the Astros have played here with only 3 runs. I'd like to see that late inning explosion that we've become accustomed to from these Houston Astros. Turn this lineup over. Maybe Jake gets on base and get the top of the order going.
You know, and looking at this series, you're looking at 2 of the 4 best bullpens in the American League ERA wise this year. Kansas City, Houston, Baltimore, and Cleveland. Luke Gregerson has been a big part of that success of the bullpen for the Astros. Cleveland's bullpen with an ERA of 3.15. The Astros at 2.75 coming in. Popped up, and that'll be back in the seats. Have you ever seen anything that worked in the dugout in terms of team is struggling with the bats and you need to get it going right now? Have you ever seen a pom-pom that you can wave that gets things going?
So I've seen some interesting demonstrations happen in the dugouts over the years to try and get the bats going, to say the least.
I'm sure we've all seen those.
I always loved it when pitchers would go over to the bat rack and start hitting all the bats and rattle them, making a bunch of noise, just trying to get those bats going, and then they're yelling about it, and you're like, dude, you go up there and hit.
It's the kind of noise that sounds like a high rise in the vicinity is being brought down. One ball and 2 strikes on Marisnick.
Now, we had a tough road trip. I think it was with the Astros, and went into the trainer's room, grabbed all the bottles of Advil, and they usually pack all the bats in a couple of large bat bags, and I emptied all the bottles of Advil into the bat bags.
A little check swing, a looper that's going to drop foul. Stays at 1 and 2.
Oh, man down.
Yeah. It's really a shame when your daughter starts pushing you on the field.
It's all fun and games until security comes down and goes, hey guys, got to move back a couple seats to keep you from trying to do that again.
I am so proud of you, Dad.
No, but I took every bottle of Advil we had, dumped it into the bat bags before we got on the plane to go to the next city.
And how'd that work?
I think we got maybe 6 or 7 hits the next day. It didn't work as well as I had hoped, but it woke them up a little bit.
And how about the guys with headaches the next day? How'd that work for them?
Well, it wasn't so much the headaches as it was the guys with sore arms that were mad at me.
Yeah, that's always the antidote for the sore arms, the sore legs.
You know, you take everybody's batting gloves, throw them into a coffee tin, light those on fire, you know, release the demons that way, put on some new batting gloves, go for it.
Popped up on the right side. Kipnis on the outfield grass, called off now by Murphy, the right fielder, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 8th inning. To the bottom of the 8th we go. 3-1 Tribe on top. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Indians put all 3 runs on the board in the 6th inning. The Astros got their lone run on a home run by Hank Conger leading off the 3rd inning. Luke Gregerson now comes on to quell the riot here in the 8th.
Not a save situation, but we haven't seen Luke in a little bit. Come out here and get some work done. If he has a shutdown inning, he may qualify for a win if the Astros are able to come back. Good numbers on the season. 18 saves. Only had 19 career saves coming into this season, so embarking on some career numbers. Good average against. Sinker slider combo's been working for him all year.
4, 5, and 6 for the Indians. You see Marwin Gonzalez now playing defensively. Marwin's at first base. Yeah, we failed to mention the fact that Marwin has also manned first base and done well in that regard.
Surprised he hasn't gotten a shot over there.
You know, the way he's handled the bat here, especially lately, both sides of the plate, you could see him playing some games at first base. Shift on defensively.
Well, how about the defense? When you've got Marwin at first base, Valbuena, Correa, Altuve.
Thing is, Marwin's not just one of those guys that you say, well, he's sure-handed. He's also very aggressive and successful with decisions. Gregerson finds the strike zone. 0-1. Ryan. Let's see. That is Brandon Moss now pinch hitting for Ryan Rayburn, who had 2 hits and 3 at bats on the night, and one of those a big one. Had a double in the 3-run 6th. Brandon Moss hitting .227, but he's been a power source for the Tribe. 14 home runs, 46 ribbies. It's a fly ball to left field. Easy for Colby Rasmus. He'll make the catch, and out number 1.
Jack in the Box takes us inside the box score. All kinds of fun percentages. These are Astro playoff projections. That projections mode on the left-hand side was basically done before the season, projecting what they would do. Current stats is pretty obvious. What's up to this point and projecting forward. They project that it's 54.5% they end up winning the division. I like that second number, making the playoffs, 75.6. It's a pretty good number. It keeps rising with the more wins they get. But those are some promising numbers. I don't know if you had enough time to look on the bottom, but it says it also projects them to have 91 wins.
Now tell me, how many games over 500 would that be?
I'm not going to. You're going to tell me because you were prepared. No?
You know, quickly, I'll
You're just going to throw that out there and not be prepared?
I'll take my stab at 20 games over 500.
That's at least an even number I get to work with.
So if you win 81, that's 500. You win 10 more than that, that's 91. And you'll have to lose 10 less than 81. That would be 91 and 71. And we've got a winner in our challenge competition on the evening.
But why is 71 500?
You are not allowed in tomorrow night's game. Little tapper in front of the plate, barehanded by Conger. He'll get the out. 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It brings up Yan Gomes.
Now stepping in for the Indians, number 10, Yan Gomes.
You see, 81 would be 500, but if you lose 10 less, if you win 10 more, you're going to lose 10 less.
But 81 is the median because it's halfway, so I don't understand. Do you either, you know,
so if you go
71 and 71 is only 142, so you want to change the season now?
Why not? You have issues with that?
Well, it changes the paycheck.
Add up 91 and 71. See what you come up with.
I know what it is. I don't have to pretend. But I'm saying, why does 500 change? If 81 and 81 is 500, why does it change? That's my question.
You want an answer?
Well, it's a question.
So if you played 162 and lost 81 times, you will have won how many?
81.
Okay, so if you played 162 and won 91 times, how many will you have lost?
Still trying to figure out how 71 is 500 baseball.
We are done with our lecture for the evening. I never thought calculus could be this difficult. Two and two on Gomes.
So you're sticking to that?
I'm going to stick with it. Ground ball right side. Nobody's over there. Altuve runs forever and can't make the play. It'll be a ground ball base hit on the right side for Yan Gomes. He was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. So that breaks up a long night. That ground ball almost didn't make it through the infield.
David Murphy comes to the plate, 0 for 2 with a walk. See, I think Yan Gomes understands why when you win 10 more than 81, you lose less than 81. But
so are you hitting 500 if you go 71 for 91?
I'd like to take my chances and see. See, I don't think you're playing by the same ground rules that the rest of us are. Tapper on the left side. Valbuena with the play. And that'll do it for the Indians. We go to the 9th inning. The Astros are down a pair, and they have the top of the order. Jose Altuve will lead it off. Preston Tucker to follow. And then a young man with some pretty good pop, Carlos Correa. Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare right now at southwest.com. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Double Jack today. Jerry did. Only at Jack in the Box. Couple of changes defensively. You see the former Jake, now the Prague here in Cleveland. Indians on top 3-1. Brantley is now in left field. Michael Bourne comes on to play center field. And Cody Allen on to get it done on the mound.
Saw Cody Allen close it out last night. Fastball, curveballs, maybe a changeup or a split. Doing a good job of it of late. 17 appearances, his last 17 appearances, 8 of 8 in that save category, not even giving up a run.
Tough assignment for the Astros, top of the order. Jose Altuve is 0 for 3. Looking for the table setter to get something going here. Got 3 guys who can drive it out of the ballpark that follow: Tucker, Correa, and Valbuena. Once again, that batting average for Altuve has dipped below 300. He's at 296. You getting some love?
I just hope everybody at home understands that we were having a little bit of fun last inning. Oh, that was entertaining. Let's get something going, Houston. Change the subject with a couple of knocks.
That fastball in on the hands, fouled back.
Get some late life out of this Astros lineup and turn this flight into Tampa tonight into a happy flight.
The Astros won the first of the 4 here in Cleveland, but it's been all Indians since. The Angels are in Seattle tonight. They have left Colorado. Don't know if you saw Mike Trout hit a pair of home runs last night. He's got 24. Kansas City a winner over Tampa Bay. That's where the Astros are headed, Tampa Bay. 1-2 the count. That Angels Seattle game going to be interesting. Garrett Richards against Felix Hernandez. 2-2 on Altuve. Altuve stays alive.
Good battle.
Another American League West club has been defeated. The Yankees down to Oakland 6-2. White Sox stopped Toronto 2-0. KC a winner over Tampa Bay 8-3. Already mentioned. Miami 2-0 over Cincinnati. That's a final. We're in the 9th inning and the final meeting of the year between these two clubs. Line drive, base hit. That'll get it started. Jose Altuve now 1 for 4 on his night, but this one coming at a big time for the club.
It's a good start. Get that leadoff man on. Good things can happen. Altuve can steal some bags. Showed a good battle right here. Slider away, punch it back up the middle.
See, you only get hits on good pitches to hit. Let me grab my tongue now. Preston Tucker stands in, and Preston's 0 for 2. He's drawn a walk and then was strangely caught trying to steal third base in the 4th inning on what you can only guess was a situation where he thought the count was 3-2, runners at first and second. Instead it was 2-2. A ball was thrown. Preston was thrown out easily, and that certainly cost. The Astros led it 1-0 at the time.
Yeah, giving the other team an extra out.
2-0 the count, and Yan Gomes goes to the mound.
The early leader in mound visits.
Is that throughout the league?
Oh yeah.
You know, that's a stat I haven't run into yet, but it's one that should be accounted for.
Well, it just kind of jumped out to me in this last 4 games watching. Anytime a pitcher falls behind, it seems like Jan's out there trying to calm him down. Although that hasn't happened that often against the Astros. The pitching's been extremely good.
Good fastball to hit right there at 94.
Wow.
And it's Yan Gomes that gets hit with it. The Astros won game 1 of the series. That was Dallas Keuchel picking up his 11th win. He's got one more start coming up before the All-Star break. That comes Saturday, game 2 in Tampa Bay. It'll be Colin McHugh, Dallas Keuchel, and Lance McCullers in those 3 games. Ground ball, and that's gloved by Santana. Great play. They'll get it out at second. Not in time at first base as Tucker legs it out. Fielder's choice, 3-6. Altuve erased, and Santana puts a big hurt on the Astros with that play.
Yeah, that's just some tough luck right there. That ball was scalded by Preston Tucker. Great job of laying out by Santana. Pops up quick, get that lead runner out of the way, which is a smart move because that's Altuve, who can steal some bags and cause some havoc on the base paths. Now he's eliminated. Great play.
Crazy game how you can hit it sharply and make outs. And now Carlos Correa with a man at first base. Correa represents that tying run. Carlos had a 4th inning base hit, snapping an 0 for 14. Then caught looking in the 6th. It's a breaking ball, might have been in front on that one.
Well, you've been getting pounded inside on fastballs all series long, and then a first pitch breaking ball when you're trying to ambush and maybe tie this thing up. Get a swing like that.
There's the heat down and in. 1-1 the count. Yeah, Carlos had an 0 for series in Cleveland going until that 4th inning single. After tearing it up in Boston, he had 7 hits in the 3 games in Boston, including a couple of home runs and 4 ribbies. Started the bat. Did he go through? It is 1-2 on Carlos.
Looked like he went, and he did.
Home plate umpire Ed Hickox takes the call. Now you probably have to change your approach if you're Carlos Correa. Let's try to shoot a base hit somewhere.
See if he can't hang this split. Ooh, man, he did.
Did exactly what you were begging for.
Stay tuned after the game as the studio crew breaks down all the action from today's game, plus interviews from the clubhouse and much more on the Astros postgame show, presented by Houston Methodist.
One and two on Correa. On the fist, popped up. On the right side, it's Santana, the first baseman, in foul territory, out number 2. And now it's down to Luis Valbuena.
Still some pop left in this Astros lineup. 19 home runs for Valbuena. Live and die by the home run. Now would be a good time to live by one.
Yeah, who would have guessed coming into Cleveland that Carlos Correa would wind up 1 for 16? $19 dingers on the year for Valbuena. 0 for 3 on the night. Drove one to left in his first at bat of the evening, but that was hauled in. Runner goes from first, uncontested, fielder's indifference. What that does, though, is it takes away what you see every once in a while, a ground ball where the only possible out would be at second base. One and one on Luis. First base open. Evan Gattis waits on deck. Hank Conger has produced the only run of the night for Houston. That almost got a piece of Luis Valbuena.
An interesting number on the night.
Yeah.
2 strikeouts for the Houston Astros.
Boy, that's unusual. And then you figure they've only scored 1 run. Generally, you'd be looking at a very different number.
They put up some monster run games after striking out 10+ times.
Yes.
Go figure.
Now 3 and 1.
It's only been 6 strikeouts total in this game between both teams.
Oberholzer, Fields, Sipp, and Gregerson on the mound for the Astros. Cody Anderson, Mark Zipchinski, and Brian Shaw. And now Cody Allen. 4 pitchers for each side. It comes down to this: 3 and 1 on Valbuena. And a 2-out walk. So runners at first and second, and Evan Gattis comes to the plate. Pinch runner at first base. That would represent the tying run, as now Alex Presley will pinch run for Valbuena. Evan Gattis 0 for 3.
Well, this man loves the RBI.
Just went for some power seeds, too.
These things are about to get crushed. Hopefully, like a baseball right here. Be a good time for Evan Gattis to get a hold of one.
Got the high fastball, but popped it up. Is the first baseman Santana. He'll make the catch, and that'll do it. The Astros come into Cleveland and play 4 and wind up winning only the Dallas Keuchel game number 1, as they go 1-3 and drop to 10 games over 500. Final 3-1 Cleveland.